And I left when he told me to. I left when he told me to.
Okay. But
that's how the trespass. No, it doesn't.
It does not matter. You were on a school campus. You were trespassing.
That's public property. Okay, listen. 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 Hold on. You're not listening to me. There's no signs. Where are the restricted signs? That's where it's going to get you guys at. There's no restricted signs. There's no trespassing signs.
Of course, we got to call you out here with the camera. As long as you're not on their property, you're good. I'm sure you know that.
Of course, I know that.
But we had to come out here and do our due diligence.
Hey,
and just make
I understand, and I appreciate you guys coming up, very respectful and very knowledgeable. I wish we had some more of that here.
My hands are up, dude.
Stand down.
He just told you to stand down. Absolutely not. The fact that that guy still has his gun pointed at me after you were told to stand down, so I want your name and ID.
Welcome to Mr. Rights, where your rights matter and the truth always stands with you. Every day we uncover how the law works outside the courtroom, where real encounters happen. From ID refusal to unlawful stops, we break it down so you know your power. No hype, just your rights, real cases, and real knowledge. Hit subscribe, because knowing is the first step to standing your ground.
Bro, I really don't want to talk to nobody. I'm just recording.
Just explain to me what happened.
I'm just recording.
All right, but what were you doing inside of the actual police academy?
Okay, see that open gate? There's no signs there. I done my research. I was just going to take video of the building, not coming inside. I know. I done my research.
They saw you inside of the gates.
Yeah, I was in the parking lot. Of course, there's no signs. There should be restricted signs there. Okay. And then they told me to leave. I walked out.
I get it.
They all walked out with me. That's it. That's all I go, all right. They go, you need to leave now. No problem. I started walking out. That's all I did. And I standing on the sidewalk, finished recording my side of the building here and here, and I was going to bounce. That's all. That's all I'm doing.
All right, you have your ID with you?
For what?
I'm just going to trespass you from the property.
No.
They don't want you back over there.
That's fine. What's your name and badge number, man?
Officer Thompson, badge number 736.
Do you know how the ID law works of the trespassing?
Yeah, I'm just asking you for your ID.
If you're asking, I'm declining.
Okay.
That's all I'm doing.
You need to leave the property.
I'm already left. I'm on the sidewalk. That's it.
Right. But let me just explain to you. If they catch you back over there,
I'm not going back there no more, bro. That's it.
All right, so totally.
That's it.
All right, but so away from this situation, what was the purpose of you going in there?
I'm working on a story. I'm doing an investigation on the building here and the police department in Fort Myers. That's all I'm doing. In public property, there should be a sign there. And don't erase that, sir. Now I'm gonna go FOIA request your phone. You can't do that while you're working on the money. I don't want nothing to do. I don't want to speak to you. You were a tyrant.
I'm not talking to you, so go ahead and keep on talking.
Don't erase that. I'm going to FOIA request. I'm going right now. I'm going right now.
All right, so
I'm not going back
on that property,
I'm not.
You will be arrested.
I understand that. I understand that. You guys can get back to work, man.
All right. So
have a good day.
No,
have a good day.
He started walking away already.
Yeah, that's not.
We caught him inside.
Yeah, but I left when you told me. I left when you told me, so don't play that game. I left under warning. That's it. That's how the law works. You guys want to play this game? Do you know how the trespass law works? You should know that.
I'm not talking to you.
All right. Have a good day, guys. I walked out. That's the way it works.
You know what I can do? Let me get the sheriff's officer. Since the deputy was here, so if you can...
Hold on. Am I being detained? Am I being detained?
If you want to keep on walking, you can keep on walking.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I just want to know if I'm free to go, I'm free to stay. It doesn't matter.
If you want to just give me your ID,
dude, I'm not giving you ID. Why would you do that?
It just be that simple.
Nah, that's not the way the law works. I'm not letting you violate my rights. I'm not doing that.
And I'm not trying to.
I know, but you're asking me, and you know how the trespass laws work.
I'm not forcing you to do anything.
All right, well, I just don't want to talk to nobody, and I'm still talking to you here. That's it. Have a good day, man.
So what was the purpose?
I already told you. I'm working on an investigation on the police department.
Well, what kind of investigation?
It has to do with my business. That's it. That's all I'm doing. I'm exercising my rights.
Were your rights violated?
No, yeah, absolutely. Right now, you guys are trying to violate my rights right now. Well, he is. He just doesn't like that I know my rights.
He's the director.
Okay, well, I left on the threat of arrest. I left immediately. That's how it's gonna work.
So under the threat of arrest.
That's it. Yeah. As soon as he said, "Let's go," all right, I'm leaving. All of them got behind me, and I started walking.
What were you doing, looking into the cars?
What? Why not? I want to make sure it's clean. I want to make sure you guys are on point. You got nothing illegal in the car. I don't know. You guys are not. Listen, you guys are not perfect. We're not perfect. You don't know that. There's a lot of dirty cops out there. I know.
Nobody.
I have a right to look in the vehicles. So what? It's not illegal.
No, you don't have a right to.
Is that illegal?
So let me tell you.
You're just trying to keep me here.
No, loitering and prowling is an actual crime.
Not when you're recording as a journalist.
So say you were at a Publix. Say you were at Publix and you started looking into people's vehicles and recording.
Publix is private property. There's a difference.
All right. Say you were in a neighborhood, somebody's neighborhood, in a public neighborhood, and you started recording into cars. That's suspicious.
Yeah, but is suspicious a crime?
It's suspicious.
Is that a crime?
It's loitering and prowling.
No, it's not.
So
that's not the way loitering and partying works. You should read over it.
Loitering and prowling is that a reasonable person would have a reason to be at that property at a reasonable time.
Okay, but now that's irrelevant because I have a reason to be here. I'm exercising my rights as a journalist. I'm working on a story.
Do you have permission to be here?
I don't need permission to be here.
Yeah, it's private.
Okay, no, it's not private. It's government property. It's public property. This is public. It's like a sidewalk.
It's not public.
So who pays for the property? Can you tell them that?
Can you just relax?
I'm
Just
good.
calm down, bro.
They want to get my ID and shit.
Trespass. He started walking.
I left.
You're not on their property anymore, so we
Yeah,
That's what I was telling
but he doesn't like the way I'm speaking to him.
Okay.
So
Hi. Tell me. Hi.
I don't know who you
Okay.
are, man.
My name is Captain Lineberger. I'm
All
a
right.
captain with the Lee County Sheriff's Office.
Okay, fine.
My 5-digit is 02110.
No problem.
I was on the campus.
That's
okay?
fine. I left
saw
when they
you
told me.
into the property there.
Listen.
Okay, first off, that is trespassing on a school
No,
property. That is
listen.
school
There's no
property.
signs there. You want to play this game?
Okay,
Do you want? Let me call my
second,
lawyer real quick.
You got 8 people. Call them,
No,
please.
no,
Please. Get on the
there's
phone
no
and call-
sign. Hold on.
While you're on film, call
Hold
your
on.
lawyer,
Am I
sir.
being detained?
Yes, you are being
For what
detained.
crime?
For disruption of a school function.
Disruption? I walked in
8
there.
people are
Hold
now
on.
out here because you were on the
Oh,
campus.
yeah, but I left.
So, okay.
Let's talk one-on-one first.
No.
You talk.
Let's talk the YouTube world that you're on right now.
Listen. I'm
You're
not on
a school
YouTube.
Campus. Well, I don't care what world you're
Okay.
on. Okay, you were on a school campus.
And I left when he
You're
told me
saying
to.
It's okay.
I
to
left.
welcome to a
I
school
le-
campus. That is acceptable.
This
So
is
right now,
what you
are
guys train.
detained.
Okay, for what crime?
Okay.
This is a school campus.
But what school? This is
Here,
elementary
time
school.
out.
I done my research, dude.
Okay.
I done my research, dude.
Listen,
The research.
And I left when he told me to. I left when he told me to.
Okay. But it
That's
still
how the
doesn't-
no, it doesn't.
Still does not matter. You were on a school campus. You were trespassing.
That's
There is
public
a crime-
property. Okay, listen.
No, it's a school campus. You can
Listen.
limit-
Hold
you
on.
can limit the
You're not
people
listening
onto
to
a
me.
school campus.
There's no signs. Where are the restricted signs? That's where it's gonna get you guys at.
Okay.
There's no restricted signs. There's no trespassing signs.
There is a
Where?
statute.
Where? What statute is that?
That does not allow you to trespass on a school
Where
campus.
does it say the statute there? How am I supposed to know that?
So
Where?
you're saying every law has to be posted publicly.
How am I supposed to know that's public? That's private in there. Honestly.
Okay.
So when I went in there, you're not letting me talk. When I went in there, he told me to leave, and I left. And I left.
I would like to know the lawful reason that you were on a school property.
Lawful reason.
Lawful reason that you were on a school property. You were not invited. You're not a student there.
But
You're not a guest.
what is that a high school?
That is a.
That's where you guys train, right?
Okay. That is. But
Okay.
It's a school property. It's owned
Okay.
by the Lee County School Board.
Listen, that's where you guys train, right? Okay then. I went inside the parking lot. I wasn't even intending to go in the building. I went to taking video. He came out. He told me, you got to leave the property. That's fine. There was no signs. I left right when he told me to.
Okay.
That's all.
Okay.
I'm out. That's
So-
it. I'm out here.
but
That's
hang on,
that's
hang
how
on.
the law works.
I've got several people that showed you on the property. Okay.
I left.
So right
That's
now,
their problem.
You are detained pending an investigation.
What investigation for what?
crime of trespassing on a school
How
property.
is that a
You were
crime
not
if you
legal.
guys? No. You are wrong, bro.
Listen to me.
I left when he told me to.
This is school district property owned by the Lee County School District.
So you guys are training here.
Time out. You don't. This is not an interview. This is me.
Okay,
telling you.
okay.
Listen, I'm videos and.
That's fine.
Now listen.
Yeah, because I'm
listen,
gonna
time
request
out,
all
just
this.
listen to me.
All right.
You cannot trespass on any school grounds. And if you're in a K through 12 atmosphere, you're basically in violation of 500 feet school safety zone.
Listen, this is not a high school.
It's
This is not an.
owned by the school district.
But who owns the school district? There's no signs there. I have a right. This is a sidewalk. Yeah. How am I supposed to know that's private and restricted, sir? That's how it works. And I left when he told me to. I came over here to the sidewalk, and I'm gone. That's it. Am I still being detained? Am I still being detained? I already told you what happened. I have it on video, so.
So what made you come out here and do it today?
I'm working on an investigation and a story on the police. That's it. This is where you guys train.
On a specific department?
Lee County. Fort Myers, it don't matter.
No, but there's a bunch of different departments.
Yeah, I see that now. That's all I'm doing, dude. I'm exercising my rights, dude. That's all I'm doing. That's it. It's that simple.
We don't have you in handcuffs or anything like that.
Yeah, but they want to put me in handcuffs.
No, they just don't want you on that property.
I said I'm not going on there. You guys are still here bothering me, dude.
No, they don't want you on that property anymore. So we're just trying
It's fine.
We were trying to issue a formal trespass.
That's not the way the trespass laws work. If I don't leave under threat of arrest, then you get my ID. Or not under threat of arrest. If I don't leave under warning, that's how it works.
You're no longer on that property.
No. That's it. I'll leave, man. I'm leaving anyways.
No. Because right now, you have committed a crime.
What crime did I commit?
810.097. Any person who does not have legitimate business on the campus or any other authorization, license, or invitation to enter or remain upon school property.
For what?
School property.
Hold on. Where's the signs, though?
Is a student currently under supervision or expulsion.
So you guys,
and who enters
you guys train where there's young students
or
here?
remains
Come
upon
on, man.
campus or any other facility owned
You guys
by
want to
said
play this
school,
game? All right.
commits
All
a
right.
trespass upon the school ground facility and is guilty of a misdemeanor of the second degree, punishable as 775-082 or 775-083.
Where is?
So now I've explained.
Where is this? Okay, listen.
It doesn't.
I left on the threat. I left when he told me to
The
leave.
statute
So how am I
proceeding,
supposed to know that? Yes, they do.
Ignorance of the law is not.
No, it's not ignorance, man. I would if there was a sign, I would have not.
Okay, now I am lawfully asking for your identification to investigate the crime of trespassing, which I've just described to you.
I left under threat of arrest. Under threat.
No.
Right when he told me to leave, I
Still
left.
on the campus.
No,
You
I
still violated
left.
the campus.
You guys want to do this? Play this game? So if I don't give you the ID, you're gonna take me to jail. Say it on camera.
I am going to take you to jail for trespass.
If I don't
on
give
a
my
school
ID.
property, if you do not give me the ID.
Under threat of arrest, I'll give you my ID. Under threat of arrest. What was your name again?
It is Captain.
That's not the way the trespass laws work, man. You got to leave under warning. That's what I did. You still want my ID for this?
I do.
It doesn't matter. I left under threat. On range of where, sir? Where?
Listen, just as you know at this point.
Yo, this is ridiculous. I don't want to hear nothing, man.
It is owned by the school district.
Yes,
Any
it's
school-
taxpayers'
okay,
building.
time
I know
out.
that.
It's still
It's not a high school.
I understand that.
So then?
It's still owned by the school district. If you go onto the school district and you don't have any business being on the school district property, especially
I have business. Now, I don't go to elementary or a high school. I'm not going to do that. I'm coming to investigate you guys. This is why I record you fools. You. This is why I do this, dude. I'm going to FOIA request that. Absolutely, I'm going to do that. Dude, so if I don't give it, you're gonna take me to jail.
So, you have committed a crime that.
I left when he told me to. That's the way it
I
works.
just read you the statute.
It doesn't matter.
What would you like me to do? Read the statute.
Dude, you guys, I don't want to speak to you no more. Kick rocks. Get out of my face, dude. That's the way it works. That's it. I'm giving my ID right here. All right, nah, man. You just violated the crap out of my Fourth Amendment right, dude. And you don't know damn nothing about trespass laws. When you don't leave on the warning is when you can get my ID. That's the way it works. That's the way it works.
I read you the bottom line is you're trespassing there.
Yeah, I already got it. I got it. Yeah.
Have a good day. Nothing personal, bro.
Dude, that's great. You let it happen, though, man.
I don't care.
You guys be all right.
I have the right to trespass you if they want to.
Listen,
Within
man.
proximity of the business.
Not if they tell me under warning.
Okay, you can stay here all
That's
day.
it. And I left. You guys shouldn't. I got my ID for that.
You can stay here all day.
I'm holding. I'm not gonna go to the property, dude. I already got that.
Listen, hang out here, get us a good suntan, whatever you want to do.
Dude, and your body cams are on, right? All right. I'm gonna FOIA request that. You guys let it happen. You guys is just as guilty, dude. Come on, man. You know how the trespass laws work. Of course, you guys got to back the blue. This is why you guys got to go with whatever he says. I understand that. Forget what the civilians say, right? Yeah. Put your seatbelts on, bro. I'm serious.
In May, under the scorching sun of Fort Myers, Florida, home to one of the largest police training centers in the southeastern United States, a lone citizen entered a public academy campus to record video and exercise his constitutional rights. Despite the absence of any warning signs, he was surrounded by 8 officers, threatened with arrest, and ordered to present ID. But he knew the law, no crime, no ID. The lesson is clear. If you are not being lawfully detained, you have the right to remain silent, refuse to show ID, and record the entire encounter. Now, let's move on to video number 2.
Of course, we got to call you out here with the camera. As long as you're not on their property, you're good. I'm sure you know that.
Of course, I know that.
But we had to come out here and do our due diligence.
Hey,
and just make
I understand, and I appreciate you guys coming up very respectful and very knowledgeable. I wish we had some more of that here.
Okay. Okay. I got you. Okay, so it's not illegal for him to film. I got you.
You know, and it's funny because the conversation came to, just why don't you just touch my truck and then we'll put it in public.
I was driving in, this dude was following me.
I got you.
This guy's really good at circular conversations, by the way. That's number 2. That's the second time he said that same sentence. Nope, there's number 3. There's number 3.
Well, like I said, you can ask. He doesn't have to answer, and he's perfectly within his right to, as long as he's in public. I got you, man. Okay. What? I got you. Is there anything else I can help you with?
I was just curious why I was getting filmed, man.
All right, man. Well, like I said, he doesn't. I got you. He doesn't have to give you an answer. So, if you want to go ahead and head on out of here, if there's anything else we can help you with, just let us know, okay? All right.
I don't appreciate it.
I understand that.
Anybody does, but he's even said that he's too scared to go in there and ask for
I got you.
Dude, I'm terrified.
Okay. All right.
I'm terrified.
I appreciate you, boss. Have a good day.
See you later, buddy.
All right, man. Like I said, as long as you're not going into their private property.
I have no intention of doing that whatsoever. And I mean, nobody's even told me to leave anyway. So if they want to tell me to leave, I don't want to make like a hearsay situation or anything. If they want me trespassed, just have somebody come out and tell me that. And
I haven't talked to them yet.
Okay.
We just seen you out here, so we thought we'd make contact with you first, okay?
So I'm just curious. So you came and made contact. You have no idea what the story is inside there.
We know what the caller wants.
Oh, so they want me
just,
trespassed. Is that what I'm hearing?
Not necessarily.
No?
They just we're calling about a suspicious person.
Okay, so I'm still allowed to go in there then, right?
As far as I'm concerned right now, yes.
Oh, okay.
I am going to go in there and talk to them and see what they want to do.
So your body cam is rolling, right?
Yeah, that's all.
So are you going to go in there? You're going to ask them if they want me to leave or be trespassed from the building? Like you're going to go
100%. I'm going to ask if they care that you're out here. If you go onto their property.
So you're going to go solicit a trespass? Yeah. 100%.
Yeah,
okay,
man.
Sounds good.
Awesome.
All right, and just make sure you have that CAD number for me as soon as you come back. Thanks. Man, that is really unfortunate. I thought that was going to go a whole lot better. He, word for word, 100% will be going directly in there to solicit a trespass, as he just said. Huh. I mean, nobody's told me to leave yet.
But understand, if he's down there on the road and he's filming, he is 100% within his rights. That is a public area that he can film. Okay, we clear on that? You want him trespassed.
There it is, solicitation.
Actually, she brought it up first because you walked over here into the parking lot.
Okay.
Thank you. I'm going to need your ID so I can trespass.
Oh, you're going to need my ID?
Yes, I am.
Oh, okay. So what happens if I go walk back over there?
I'm still going to trespass you.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yes. So I need your ID.
Okay. So am I being detained?
At this point, yeah.
At this point, I am being detained. So am I allowed to?
Would you like a supervisor?
Am I allowed to leave the property?
No, because
now I'm not allowed to leave the property.
I need your information.
So you're not going to give me ample time to leave, right? Is this what you're saying?
They don't want you to come back.
Okay. So what you're saying is if they want me to leave, right?
They want you to leave.
Right. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is go step back onto the public property, right?
And I'm going to come over there and I'm going to get your ID. And I'm going to tell you you're trespassing, not to come back to this property indefinitely. And then if you do, you're going to be arrested for trespassing.
Okay, cool.
All right, let's walk over here. I'll
Sweet.
get your ID from you. You a resident of South Carolina? Like South Carolina driver's license?
I'm not going to answer any questions, buddy.
Okay.
You can bring your supervisor out here, though. That'd be good.
440, 440.
So now you're under the guise that while I'm standing out here now, after I've left the property? So now you're under the impression that now that I'm off the property, now I need to give you my ID.
Yes, because
right?
you're being trespassed.
Oh, okay. All right, we'll just wait for the supervisor.
Right, you can just stay right here.
Sounds good. Hey, just make sure you don't go in there and rob the place now.
I won't.
All right, good. Put you under citizen's arrest. York County Sheriff. Doesn't even know the difference. Doesn't even know how to trespass somebody from private property. It's unfortunate, man. It was going so much better in the beginning. So much better. This just took a turn for the worst. Yeah, you guys better hurry up and get on the phone with those supervisors. We got a supervisor on the way? Yep. All right. Now tell me, I'm gonna give you a chance for some, to show some knowledge here. Now, if I were to leave a property, right, or if they said, I'll give you a scenario. Let's say that they said that I had to leave, right, and I left and ran away before you guys got here. What are you guys gonna do?
That's different.
That's different.
You are here. You are here.
I am here, right? Right.
And they want you indefinitely trespass from the property, which means you're good now, right?
So then what? Now I'm going to tell you. I identify as good citizen for this report. Okay. So now what's going to happen when I do that?
Okay. I still need your ID. You're still going to be trespassed indefinitely from the property.
Really?
That's what's going to happen. Yes. This is private property.
Okay.
This is public. Mm-hmm. That's private, right? We can agree on that.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want you up there.
Yeah.
The second you walked across the parking lot and started filming, they decided, hey, I don't want you on my property, right? They have every right to do that, being a private business. Correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
We can agree on that?
Yeah.
So from here on out, in the future, say tomorrow you decide you want to come out here and film again, and you step foot on that property and we get called, you're going to go to jail for trespassing.
Right. So now,
but in order for me to put that information into our system, I have to have your name.
Really?
Right?
Oh, really?
What do you want me to put in there?
Really? Good citizen. I just told you.
Good citizen.
I just told you. Yeah, we can go. We can go with a verbal trespass.
No.
Yeah. No.
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 Does that not exist? It's just a shoulder shrug, not a yes or no.
How are we supposed to enforce it if we don't know?
I just asked you. I just asked you a question.
You can just wait for my.
Oh, okay. Okay. It's always the you can just wait. It's always the you can just wait, and I'm not going to argue with you when you can't answer a question.
If you know this stuff so good, why don't you become a cop? If you're so versed
I'm not gonna answer that question on the grounds of stupidity.
Okay.
You think I want to come and do this to people?
Do what? Enforce the law?
Enforce the law?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You're enforcing an imaginary law, my friend.
Okay.
And hopefully your supervisor does come out here nice and educated, because if he's going to tell me that what I need to do is give you my ID, I am going to give you my ID, and I'm going to give you my my information under threat of arrest, and then I'm going to go and I'm going to file an internal affairs complaint, and then I'm going to sue the shit out of this county.
Who said you were under arrest?
No, you said I was detained.
Detained and being arrested are two different things.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now let me ask you, what happens if I were to just walk away right now?
Nothing right now.
Nothing right now?
Yes.
Oh, okay. And nothing as soon as the supervisor gets here.
Okay, man. I'm gonna walk back over here.
Yeah, that's probably better.
Yeah, it probably is.
I wouldn't want to get caught up in this conversation either if I were you. Thanks. Appreciate that.
Yep, no problem.
There's that. Hey, put your phone down. He's going to try to get your ID. Yeah, and he wants to threaten an arrest if I don't give him my ID right here. Isn't that crazy? He gets it. He gets it now. He gets it now. I bet you he gets it even more now that his supervisor's here. Oh, we got a fourth one. We got a fourth. Oh, we got Mr. Gloves in the back here.
Yes, sir.
He's excited. What's going on?
Not too much. What's going on today?
I got no answers for any of your questions, other than the fact that I just want to know if if I get told that I'm trespassing, I'm no longer allowed to go what's called a verbal trespass, and I'm standing right here off the property. What was your name?
Deputy Richard.
Richard?
Yep.
Oh, Richard. Yeah, that makes sense. So Mr. Richard here said that if I'm standing on a public easement, that he still needs to get my ID. He still needs to get my ID. So what you're telling me, I just want to make sure that I'm under the correct understanding that I can identify as good citizen, and as long as I'm not on the property, then if I don't return, nothing's going on.
Okay. Well, if you don't want to identify yourself, don't go back on the property, okay?
See you later, Richard.
Take it easy, bro.
Hey, thanks for the free education, man. He's not upset, he's just disappointed. It's okay. Hey, thanks, man.
Y'all take care.
Free education. You can take your gloves off now, though, guy. No touching people today. You're all good.
On a scorching afternoon in Fort Mill, South Carolina, a rapidly growing town with a population surpassing 25,000, a calm citizen was legally filming on a public easement when an officer attempted to coerce him into providing ID through a subtle tactic, encouraging a business owner to issue a trespass warning. Despite never stepping onto private property, he was detained and threatened with arrest. The lesson is clear. Always know the boundary between public and private property, refuse to provide ID unless lawfully detained, and request a supervisor if your rights are challenged. Now, let's move on to video number 3, where a gun is drawn during a fishing trip.
Holy yo, what the pointing that gun at me? My hands are up. I'm not moving. I'm not moving. I'm just fishing. Okay, well, I don't like the fact that this guy has a finger on the trigger and he's got his gun pointed at me. Okay, and that's perfectly lawful. Oh, you're coming to check me out, but you got this guy over here pointing a What?
Hey.
My hands are up, dude.
Stand down.
He just told you to stand down.
All right, partner, you can.
No, bullshit. I want names and badge numbers now. Sorry. No, f that. No, absolutely not. The fact that that guy still has his gun pointed at me after you were told to stand down, so I want your name and ID. What?
Hey.
My hands are up, dude.
Stand down.
He just told you to stand down.
All right, partner, you can.
No, bullshit. I want names and badge numbers now. Sorry. No, f that. No, absolutely not. The fact that that guy still has his gun pointed at me. This is harassment of a fisherman. It is an unlawful. Absolutely not. I want your fucking name and badge number.
I understand it, and we're taking care of it, okay?
That's bull.
Okay.
What's your name? M. Hirsch, H-I-A-R-S-C-H.
Sergeant Mike Hirsch.
What's your name and badge number?
You can put your gun away.
Name and badge number. K. Palmerton. What's your ID number?
Don't worry about it, buddy.
No, bull.
They give it to him.
What is your fuck you? What is your name and badge number? Gilliard? Who's the fat yeah, you. I want your fucking name and badge number.
Give him your name, give him your name and badge number.
Because I'm not breaking the law.
Give me your name and badge number.
Give me your name and badge number. You were just ordered by a superior officer. Yeah, it's funny. It's real funny. It's real funny.
You can clear.
What's his name and badge number? I want you to verbalize your name and badge number.
Giosmani Pantoja,
What's his ID number?
4179.
Cool. Can I get his name and badge number?
That is Corporal McConnell.
McConnell? Can I get your name and badge number?
Officer Rutigliano, 4208.
Cool. Name and badge number.
Officer Bostic, 42011.
Name and badge number. Name and badge number. Oh, I got it from you already. All right. I'm not breaking the law here right now. Okay, so now that we have an understanding I'm not breaking the law, I do not wish to engage and talk with you guys. If you guys continue to engage and talk with me, that would be harassment of a fisherman, which is actually an arrestable offense under Florida statute, and I can't sue you for that. So if you guys could go 10-8 and leave me alone while I'm fishing, that would be excellent. Thank you for having that piece of shit walk away.
It's okay.
Because again, my hand's not on my firearms, but he sits there and continues to hold his gun on me with a finger on the trigger.
Okay. And we understand that. We understand what you're here for. I understand what you're here for, okay? I know you're with the audit, okay?
I'm not auditing.
I appreciate that, okay? But with the situation that's happened in Texas, you know we're a little, you know...
Yeah, which is exactly why I've got this. Just in case something happens, I can defend myself, which is why that statute's there in the first place.
Absolutely.
So, again, 10-8, I don't want to talk to you guys anymore.
Everybody go.
Actually, can I get the call number?
Yeah, I'll get you the call number. I'm gonna have to go to my vehicle.
That's fine. You can come back here and give that to me. That's perfectly fine. I appreciate that. The rest of you guys, 10-8.
Would you like me to talk and just explain the call to you when you go get the number?
I know. I'm pretty sure what the call is. Somebody saw me with a gun. They called you guys.
Somebody saw you walking across the street.
Okay.
They said somebody in full body armor with a rifle, walking across the street from the Civic Center. I guess you parked across the street or something like that. So they think you're approaching the pier with a gun. They never mentioned a fishing pole or anything like that, if that makes sense.
Okay. Well, I mean, but still. I mean, if I'm going to a fishing pier, then...
Yeah, but, you know, the thing in Texas, you're going to have a lot of people. We had several callers.
Okay.
Well, so in that kind of situation, obviously, we're going to get the heightened response now that we're
True,
all getting
but I mean, you guys are
trained
supposed
for
to
stuff like
observe,
this.
right?
So, and that's what we were doing. You know, when we were coming up...
By screaming, police, put your hands up. Don't even tell me, you keep your hands up, and my hands are up, and he still continues to hold a gun at me.
So, like I was explaining, we had a call. That's what we had. That's what we were dealing with, okay?
Okay.
So, no offense to you. Nothing against you personally, all right? It's just the call that came out, it sounded pretty bad the way it came out.
A guy going fishing with a gun. Perfectly lawful.
A guy approaching the city pier with a full body armor and a rifle.
And the city pier's known for what, fishing?
Okay, but if you're approaching it and there's kids here, stuff like that, obviously several people are going to call. They're going to make it sound bad.
Okay, well then what about you guys? You guys have guns.
Correct.
So we should only feel that, you know, law enforcement officers should be the only ones that have guns. Is that what you're getting at?
No.
Nobody's going to call because it's a police officer, but if it's a civilian doing it with exercising their constitutional rights.
The recent thing in Texas, okay, with the rifle.
Yeah.
I understand that's why you're doing it, okay? And I appreciate that. The only problem that we had is obviously everybody else heard about what happened in Texas.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So they're going to make it sound as bad as possible. And then obviously we're going to respond based on what we get.
Well, so then maybe you guys should go after the person that made the false 911 calls then, because that's a crime.
It's not a false 911 call, depending on what they perceive it.
You see the fishing pole?
They didn't mention a fishing pole.
Okay. So maybe inform them that, hey, listen, just heads up. You should really double check what is going on.
I understand that.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
I get where you're coming from.
I'm going to go back to fishing, though. I appreciate the conversation, but I'm going to go back and fishing. I really would appreciate if you guys just let me alone.
Yep. He's gonna, our sergeant's gonna come back with a call number.
Yep.
That'll have everybody's name attached to it. All right.
Okay.
So if you have any issue with that, all that'll be there, and you can go to the PD to request a copy.
Yep.
An actual physical copy. Okay.
Okay.
All right. You have a good day, sir.
Holy crap, guys! I'm glad I got that on body cam.
Thank you for watching until the end of Mr. Wright's video. The 3 intense encounters we just witnessed in the southeastern United States, Florida and South Carolina, are not exceptions, but clear evidence that civil rights must be deeply understood and applied at the right moment. In Fort Myers, a lone citizen was surrounded by more than 8 officers inside a police training academy, despite the complete absence of any no-entry signs. In Fort Mill, South Carolina, a city whose population has grown over 30% in the last decade, a man filming from a public sidewalk was pressured to provide ID after police encouraged a business owner to issue a trespass warning. And at the peak of tension in Sebring, Florida, an armed citizen legally fishing was met with a gun pointed directly at him by police in broad daylight, despite showing no threat. 3 individuals, 3 locations, 3 different reactions, but one common thread: they all knew the law. They understood that unless they were lawfully detained, they had the right to refuse to provide ID. They knew that on public property, they had the right to film, and most importantly, they recorded everything, preserved evidence, and demanded a supervisor when their rights were challenged. Our advice to you, learn the law as you would learn to protect yourself, record every interaction, stay calm, and never be afraid to assert your rights. In a nation governed by the rule of law, citizens are not powerless if they know where they stand. See you in the next video from Mr. Right.